Okay, welcome back. So, for today, we're going to discuss the part 2 of our lecture for influence line. Ano nga ba yung nakapaloob dito sa ating part 2, no? So, here in our part 2, I will teach you guys on how to do or how to create influence line using shortcut method, no? Before we could get to the shortcut method, kailangan natin mag-define ng principle. So, ano nga ba yung principle na kailangan natin tandaan in order to get the shortcut method or to do the shortcut method for the influence line? So, yung principle na sinasabi ko is the Mueller-Breslau principle. Anong sabi dyan? In 1886, Heinrich Mueller-Breslau developed a technique for rapidly constructing the shape of an influence line, referred to as the Mueller-Breslau principle. It states that the influence line for a function, reaction, shear, or moment is to the same scale as the deflected shape of the beam when the beam is acted upon by the function. Ang sabi dito, class, in order to determine the shape of your influence line, that is also the shape of the deflected shape of the beam when you do some modification, when it is acted by a function. Okay? Ulitin ko, kailangan mo munang i-modify ng kaunti yung beam, tapos actadan mo ng function. And then whatever the deflected shape of that is also the shape of your influence line. So, napakadali, no? So, para magsimula na tayo, so let's start siguro sa vertical reaction. Paano ba mag-create ng shortcut method ng vertical reaction influence line? So, sabi dito, for example, we have a given beam into your right, no? So, ang sinahanap natin is the vertical reaction at point A. Paano natin kukuhanin yung shape ng influence line for the vertical reaction at point A? Ang sabi dito, the support is to be replaced by a roller guide. So, ibig sabihin, papalitan mo po ito ng roller, and then, when the positive upward force is then applied at AY, the beam deflects to the dash position, which represents the general shape of the influence line. Palitan ng roller guide, so pinalitan natin. And then apply the vertical upward reaction of AY, and then the beam will move to the dash position. Ito daw. So whatever the deflected shape of that is also the shape of your influence line. So ibig sabihin, kung ito ang deflected shape, ito naman ang shape ng iyong influence line. Okay? Ang modification na ginamit natin dito is pinalitan natin yung support condition ng roller guide and then apply upward vertical force. Okay? So, para magkaroon tayo ng practice, siguro let's try to solve problem number 7. So, sabi dito, for each beam in the figure, sketch the influence line for the vertical reaction at point A. So, we have here the first figure. So, again, class, ang sabi natin, papalitan natin to ng roller guide. So, once we replace that by a roller guide, then apply upward vertical reaction. Remember, hindi dapat mag-move ito ha, kasi naka-roller yan. So, naka-support yan vertically. So, hindi dapat mag-move yan. So, if we move this one, pinalitan natin ng roller guide, in-applyan natin upward force, this will be the deflected shape of the beam. So, kapag yan yung deflected shape, that is also the shape of your influence line. Okay? So, para mas ma-practice pa, so, let's try another one. So, for example, we have a cantilever beam. Again, yung support condition will be replaced by a roller guide. Kapag pinalitan natin yan ng roller guide, it will freely move upward. Then, apply upward vertical reaction. So, therefore, this will be the shape of your influence line. Okay? So, as you can see, nawala yung fixed support. Pinalitan natin ng roller, apply upward, and then that will be your deflected shape. And also the influence line, no? Okay? So, how about this one? So, first thing you need to do is to determine if it is, statically determinate. So, ilan ba yan? So, we have 2 rollers, o 2 unknowns, plus another pin. So, another 2. Tapos, may isang internal hinge. So, pag may isang internal hinge, another 2 unknowns. So, ilan yun? So, 2 plus 2, 4 plus another 2, that would be 6, no? And then, if you notice, no, ang sabi natin, 3n. So, ilan yung number of segment natin? Rigid segments. That's 2 kasi nahati ng internal hinge. So, 6 versus 2 times 3, which is equivalent to 6. So, yung figure number 3 is definitely statically determinate, no? Again, kapag meron siyang support, kailangan niya matali doon. Kailangan hindi siya mag-move doon. And we're getting only the vertical reaction at point A. No? So, kapag ganun yung scenario, asan ba yung vertical reaction sa point A? Ito, di ba? O, palitan natin to ng ito. Palitan natin yan ng roller guide, then apply upward vertical reaction. Kapag ni-replace natin yan ng roller guide, since this is not the support, no? We don't provide any restriction to that, no? Magkakaroon lang tayo ng any restriction kapag meron tayong roller tsaka pin. So ngayon, inangat natin, so aangat yan, sasabay yan, no? Ito, nakatali tayo dyan kasi may support. So whatever the deflected shape of this one is, that is also the shape of your influence line. Okay? So, hopefully, na-understand. Kapag hindi naman na-understand, pwedeng balik-balikan, no? I-post, tapos imaginein kung ano yung deflected shape ng beam, and then try to draw the influence line. Okay? So, let's move on. So, what if we're getting the influence line or the shape of the influence line with regards to shear? So, actually, ganun din, no? So, the shear location is to be replaced by a roller guide. So, ibig sabihin, papalitan din natin siya ng roller guide. This device will resist a moment and axial force but no shear. Apply a positive shear force to the beam at C and allowing the beam to deflect to the dash position, we find the influence line shape, no? So, again, ito ang ating figure, no? Yung nasa kanan nyo. So, we have here, we need to replace the point where we want to get the shear by a roller guide. So, ni-replace na natin siya. So, since ni-replace na natin siya, no? So, kailangan natin mag-apply ng positive shear. Remember, dun sa una kong principle na binigay sa inyo, ang sabi ko, kapag nag-apply tayo ng ito. Kapag nag-apply tayo ng shear or kapag nag-cut tayo, yung positive shear natin, if we're considering the left side of the beam is downward, kapag we're considering the right side of the beam, that is upward, no? So, if we apply that positive shear in our roller guide, this will be the deflected shape of your beam. Remember, nakatali tayo. May support tayo dito, may support tayo. Hindi yan dapat gumalaw. Again, whatever the deflected shape of the beam is, this is also the shape of your influence line. So, let's try some exercise. Let's figure out or let's solve this problem number 8. So, for each beam in the figure, sketch the influence line for the shear at B. So, we have here the first figure. Again, you will replace that by a roller guide. Once we replace that by a roller guide, apply positive shear. Downward sa left side, upward sa right side. Since nakatali ito, hindi yan mag-move, no? So, the deflected shape of this one will be like this, no? Hindi siya nag-move kasi may tali ka dito, hindi yan pwede gumalaw. O hindi ka naman pwedeng maggalaw na biglaton kasi sasabay ito. So, ibig sabihin, yung left side mo lang yung gagalaw na pababa. So, this will be your influence line. Okay? I hope you understand, no? So, let's try to solve another problem. So, ngayon, again, replace this by a roller guide, apply downward to the left, upward to the right. So, sa left side, hindi rin po yan gagalaw. Why? Kasi naka-fix ka dito. Compare kapag nakapin ka lang. Remember, kapag fixed support, it does resist moment, reaction, no? So, hindi yan mag-move. Ano lang yung mag-move? Yung right side, no? So, kapag nag-move yung right side, syempre, in-applyan mo yan ng upward force. So, this will be the deflected shape of your beam. This will also be the shape of your influence line. Hopefully you do understand, no? So, let's have another one. So, again, this is a statically determinate beam. Kayo na lang mag-figure out, no? So, again, we will replace this by a roller guide. Then, apply downward and upward. Downward sa left side, upward sa right side. Ngayon, eto may restriction ka. Tapos, meron kang dito, no? Meron kang internal hinge. So, malamang, aangat yan kasi ito doesn't provide any resistance. And then after this, bababa ito. And then, iaangat ka ngayon ng iyong right side ng segment ng beam. So, this will be the deflected shape. As you can see here, that is also the shape of your influence line. Again, if you're having a hard time to imagine, you can pause this video and then try it yourself, no? Pwede naman na kukuha lang yan sa paulit-ulit. Okay? That's how we figure out the shape of the influence line with regards to the shear, no? So, how about the moment? So, sabi dito, the moment location is to be replaced by a hinge or a pin. This connection can resist axial and shear forces but cannot resist a moment, no? Applying positive moment to the beam then deflects to the shape in that position, which is also the shape of the influence line. Again, instead of roller guide, just like what we did on the previous concept, no? In this one, we will replace it by a pin or a hinge, no? Kapag ni-replace natin siya ng hinge, apply positive yung moment. Remember, kapag left side, counterclockwise. Kapag right side, clockwise. And then, once you applied it, whatever the deflected shape is, that is also the shape of your influence line. So, remember, meron kang restriction dito, hindi dapat yan gumalaw. Ito, free end naman yan. So, ibig sabihin, yan yung deflected shape mo. That is also the shape of your influence line. Hopefully, you do understand, no? So, okay, let's try to figure out or let's try to solve some problems, no? Sabi dito, for each beam in the figure, sketch the influence line for the moment at B. So, anong gagawin natin? First, this is our beam. So, again, replace this by internal hinge and then apply for the left side counterclockwise moment, for the right side clockwise moment. Remember, whatever you apply na kahit anong movement dito sa left side, hindi yan mag-move. Kasi meron kang pin dito, tsaka meron kang roller. Meron kang mga restriction. So, ano lang yung mag-move? Yung right side. So, kapag in-applyan mo yan ng moment na pag ganun, ganito yung deflected shape niyan. So, ngayon, as you can see, ganyan yung nangyari. That is also the shape of your influence line. Okay? So, let's try another problem. Again, meron ka dito sa gitna. Applyan mo ng left side counterclockwise, right side clockwise. Remember, this is a fixed support that can resist any moment. So, therefore, this will not move. Yung mag-move lang is yung right side, which is magiging ganun lang. Just like what happened on the first figure. So, ibig sabihin, yan din yung shape ng yung influence line. Okay? So, ngayon, we have another beam right here. So, again, papalitan mo to ng hinge. A-applyan mo ngayon ng positive moments. Remember, this is an internal hinge. So, ibig sabihin, sasabay yan sa pag-move. Dahil in-applyan mo to ng counterclockwise movement and then hindi sapat yung restriction niya para hindi siya gumalaw. So, ibig sabihin, ito ay aangat. And then, once na umangat yan plus, pag umangat yan, aangat din yung right side dahil naka-hinge ka dito. Hindi siya masyado restrict, no? So, itong right side aangat din na hindi gagalaw yung mga nasa support, ha? And then after that, dahil sa paggalaw na ito pababa, ito may restriction ka, aangat ulit. No? So this will be the deflected shape of your beam. That is also the shape of your influence line. Okay? Hopefully you do understand what's happening in my lecture, no? So if you do have questions, you can drop that question in our comment, no? Okay? So, let's move on, no? So, alam na natin yung shape ng influence line. But how do we get the ordinate of the influence line using Murel-Breslau's principle? So, madali lang, no? For the reaction, the magnitude of the influence line in the reaction is always positive 1. So, ibig sabihin, di ba? For example, di ba nagganyan yan? Ganyan yung shape ng influence line mo. Kung ganyan yung shape ng influence line mo, yung ordinate daw dito sa reaction is always 1. Kapag 1 yan, o you can do the rest using ratio and proportion or similar triangle. Kasi remember, based on the principle that I discussed earlier from the previous video, ang sabi natin, yung influence line ng statically determinate beams is in straight line segments. Kung kapag meron ka ng isang value dyan, you can also solve for the other ordinates using similar triangle or ratio and proportion. Okay? So for this one naman, to get the value of the shear, remember, hindi ito mag-move, no? Parang paganyan yan. Dito mag-move. To get the value for the ordinate of the shear, apply 1 unit load dito. And then get the shear left, shear right. Whatever the shear left, that is also the ordinate here. And then whatever the shear right, that is also the ordinate in the right side. No? Mag-apply ka lang ng 1 unit load. And then do the shear of that. And then after that, find the different ordinate using ratio and proportion lang. Okay? So, how about the moment? So, ganun lang din sa moment, no? Apply 1 unit load to the point desired and then get the moment at that point. Once you get the moment at that point, you can get, or whatever the moment there, that is also the ordinate of your influence line. Ganun din siya shear, ha? Kung ano yung nakuha nyong shear dito, yun din yung ordinate ng influence line. Kung ano yung nakuha nyong moment dito, yun din yung ordinate ng influence line. Don't forget to apply the 1 unit load. Okay? So, I think, meron tayo ditong influence line for beams. So, sabi natin, concentrated loading. So, paano daw natin makukuha yung magnitude? Kasi yun dito pa lang nakuha na natin yung ordinate. So how about yung magnitude o yung value kung ano yung maximum positive in kilonewton, no, na reaction or maximum negative in kilonewton na reaction. It can be either reaction, shear, no? So kasi in kilonewton. So sabi dito, concentrated load for the maximum positive or negative, place the concentrated load in the place where the highest positive negative ordinate is located. Multiply the concentrated load to the ordinate to get the magnitude. Ang kadalasan kasi hinahanap, class, lalo na sa mga questions, no? So hinahanap is what is the maximum positive reaction, what is the maximum positive shear if the one concentrated load is moving. So ngayon, ang gagawin mo, kung maximum positive or negative ang hinahanap, i-place mo lang yung 1 unit o yung concentrated loading mo on where is the maximum positive or negative ordinate is located. For example, meron kang nagmo-move na 90 kN, no? Kung meron kang nagmo-move na 90 kN, tas you want to get the value for the maximum positive reaction that the beam can generate, no? So, i-place mo lang yan 90 dito. Kapag na-place mo na yung 90 dyan, multiply the 90 to the ordinate of the influence line. So, in this figure, the ordinate is 1. Whatever the value is, that is also the magnitude. Or kung gaano kalaki ang makukuha mo value ng reaction kapag nag-move yung 90 kN in this beam. Ganon lang po. No? Ulitin ko. If we have a concentrated load na moving, tapos ang hinahanap mo is maximum positive or negative, you will need to find the value for the maximum positive ordinate or maximum negative ordinate, then multiply the value of the moving concentrated load to get the magnitude na hinahanap mo. Okay? Don't worry, you do have a problem kung nalilito pa kayo dito sa concept na to, no? So, ganun lang po kapag concentrated load yung nagmo-move. What if meron tayo nagmo-move na uniform load? So, for the uniform load, sabi dito, for the maximum positive or negative uniform load in the place where the highest negative or positive area is located. So, medyo magulo yung statement, pero ang gusto niyang sabihin, i-place mo lang daw yung moving load, moving uniform load, to the positive or negative area ang pinag-uusapan, no? So, kung merong positive o kung merong negative dito, ang pinapakahanap lang sa'yo is the maximum positive magnitude. So, i-place mo lang yung moving load mo sa maximum sa mga positive ordinate, no? So, kapag negative naman yung hinahanap, i-place mo lang yung moving load mo sa negative ordinate. And once you place that there, multiply, no? Kunyari, meron ka ditong 10 kN per meter, no? So, ngayon, para makuha mo yung magnitude, multiply mo lang yung area kung saan mo pinlace yung moving load, area na ito, to the ordinate, no? Ito. To the uniform load, no? And then, you will get the value for the magnitude, okay? So, kunyari, inaanap mo yan. So, ngayon, ano bang area yan? Triangle lang yan. So, 1/2. Height is 1, base is L. Tapos, multiply that by 10, that will be your magnitude. Kung ano man yung hinahanap. Ulitin ko para mas malinaw. If we have a uniform load na nagmo-move, kung ang hinahanap mo ay positive, i-place mo lang yung mga uniform load dun sa mga positive influence line. Kung ang hinahanap mo ay negative, i-place mo lang yung uniform load dun sa mga negative na influence line. And once you place that, in order to get the magnitude, multiply the area of the influence line kung saan ka nag-place ng uniform load to the uniform load. Multiply mo yung area nito to the uniform load and then you will get the magnitude. Okay? Again, kung nalilito dito, pwede naman tayong magkaroon ng example. Meron pa naman tayong example, no? So, that's how we get the magnitude of the influence line. Okay? So, siguro magkaroon na tayo ng example para hindi nakakalito. And magpapalit lang ako ng module. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so let's try to solve problem number 10. So, sabi dito, determine the value for the maximum positive shear that can be developed at point C in the beam shown in the figure to a concentrated moving load of 4 kN and a uniform moving load of 2 kN per meter. Okay? So, ngayon, first thing we need to do is to redraw the figure, no? I-redraw ko lang yung figure, ha? So, yan yung figure natin. And then, apply the deflected shape of the beam. So, again, kapag shear ang hinahanap, you will apply a roller guide. Then, apply downward shear for the left beam, upward shear for the right beam. Ang ano mangyayari dyan? So, magiging pag ganon, and then aangat, then pag ganon. So, that will be your influence line. Okay, so I already draw the influence line, no? So, kailangan natin mahanap yung magnitude niyan. So, paano ba mahanap yung magnitude, o yung ordinate niyan, sorry. Paano ba mahanap yung ordinate niyan? Remember, ang sabi ko kanina, kailangan mo maglagay ng 1 unit load. So, place 1 unit load here, and then get the shear left, shear right to get the value for the ordinate. So, kung meron kang 1 unit load dito, kailangan mo makuha yung reaction. Tapos, you need to consider kung left side ba or right side, no? So, kapag meron tayong 1 unit load dyan, syempre, parang mas madali yung left side, no? Let's figure out whatever the reaction for RA, no? So, ano nga ba yung reaction for RA? So, madali lang yan. Summation, moment sa B, equals 0, clockwise, positive. So, we have RA multiplied by 10 minus 1 multiplied by 7.5. Equals 0. So, yung RA natin should be equivalent to 0.75. Okay? So, meron na tayong RA 0.75. Again, we need to cut that and get the value for the shear left, shear right. So, ito na yun. Okay, kinat na natin, no? So, we do have reaction here which is equivalent to 0.75. Tapos, ang distance nito is 2.5 meters. Remember, yung shear natin is downward, no? Tapos, kukuhanin natin yung VCL tsaka VCR. Okay? O, how about VCL? Ay, mayroon ka pa palang 1 unit load dito, no? O, remember, kapag kumukuha tayo ng VCL, included pa yung 1 unit load. Kapag VCR, hindi na. Okay? Opposite direction, positive. Same direction, negative. So, we have 0.75, opposite direction, minus 1. Included pa yan kasi VCL pa lang ang pinag-uusapan. So, VCL is equivalent to negative 0.25. Okay? How about VCR? Remember, VCR, hindi na included yung 1 unit load. Lumagpas na. Kapag lumagpas na siya, edi meron ka na lang 0.75. So, ibig sabihin, ang value pala ng ordinate nito sa left side is 0.25 and then this one is positive 0.75. So, I already got the value for the ordinate of the influence line. So, ngayon, anong next na gagawin natin? Paano natin makukuha yung maximum positive shear? So, ang gagawin natin is lagyan muna natin ng horizontal distances. So, iso ay 2.5. Ito ay 7.5 meter. May moving load tayo na concentrated load na 4 kN. Kapag positive shear ang hinahanap, ang sabi natin kanina, based on our concept, we need to place the moving load to the maximum positive ordinate. So, ibig sabihin, dito natin ipo-place yung 4 kN. Yan yung maximum positive, eh. Tama ba? Ngayon, if we have a moving uniform load na 2 kN per meter and then positive shear ang hinahanap, kailangan mo lang i-place yung moving load mo kung saan nakalocate yung mga positive influence line. So, saan ba nakalocate yung mga positive influence line? Simula dito hanggang dito. So, dapat dyan mo ilagay yung moving uniform load mo. Okay? So, ang value niyan is 2 kN per meter. Okay? So, after that, ang sabi natin to get the value for VC, positive, kapag concentrated loading, i-multiply mo lang yan sa ordinate. So, that would be, so 4, ang ordinate natin is 0.75, and then plus, kapag uniform load, i-multiply mo sa area ng influence line. So, that would be 2 times 1/2. Ano yung height natin? That would be 0.75 ang length natin is 7.5. Okay? So, what will be the value for VC plus? Let's see. O nga pala, may sagot tayo dito, no? So, 4. So, ang lumalabas sa akin is 8.625 kilo Newton. So, di ba mas madali? So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Kapag may nagmo-move daw na 4 kN, tsaka 2 kN meter per meter dito sa beam na to, i-place mo siya dito, yung moving load, tas yung uniform load dito, to get the value for na maximum positive na 8.625 na pwedeng mangyari dito sa iyong beam. Okay? Ito yung maximum positive shear na pwedeng mangyari dito sa iyong beam kapag may nagmo-move na 4 kN tsaka 2 kN per meter. Okay? So, that's how we solve problem number 10. Okay? So, let's try to solve another problem. Okay, so let's try to solve problem number 11. So, sabi dito, for the beam shown determine the following due to a concentrated live load of 90 kN and a uniformly distributed live load of 40 kN and a uniformly distributed dead load of 20 kN. So, pinapahanap positive shear, negative shear, positive moment, and negative moment. Tinadtad ko na, no, para mas maalam natin yung concept, no. So, class, take note that in this problem, in-state niya kung ano yung dead load tsaka live load. That is very important, no. Kasi when we say live load, that is moving, no. So, ibig sabihin, itong mga 90 na to, tsaka 40 na to, ito yung moving load natin. But when we say that it is a uniformly dead load, that is not moving. So, ibig sabihin, we need to apply that to the entire structure or to the entire span of the beam. So, kung kanina, ina-apply lang natin yung mga live load, just like what we did, no? In our first problem, ina-apply lang natin siya on a certain portion, kung ano lang hinahanap mo. It can be either positive or negative. Kapag moving load, or in our case, live load, kapag dead load, kailangan mo pa siyang in-apply sa entire structure, no? Okay? So, let's try to solve letter A. So, lagyan natin dito, letter A. So, for letter A, ang pinapahanap positive shear. Pero bago yun, kailangan muna natin i-construct yung shape ng ating influence line. Again, place ka ng roller guide. Apply downward shear for the left, upward shear for the right. May restriction, so ibig sabihin, aangat ka dito sa left side, bababa ka dito banda kasi binaba ka na ito. And then, for the right side, angat ulit, is pa ganyan. That will be the shape of your influence line. Okay? So, let's draw that. Again, if you're having a hard time imagining the shape of the influence line, pwede naman practicein, no? Panoorin lang ulit yung mga video pa ulit-ulit, no? Kaya nyo rin yan ma-master. Okay? Okay, I already got this. I already got the figure. So, lagyan lang natin ng letter. This is letter A, B, C, and D. Lagyan natin distance. 3 meters, 3 meters, and then this one is 6 meters. Okay? So, after that, since we already got the value for or the shape of the influence line based on Euler-Breslau's principle, ang kailangan natin is makuha kung ano ba yung mga ordinate niyan. Para makuha yung mga ordinate niyan, kailangan mag-place ng 1 unit load dito sa shear and then get the shear left, shear right. So ngayon, for me, ang i-consider ko na lang is left side. Ngayon, kapag kinuha ko yung left side, kailangan ko ng reaction sa B. And you already know how to get that, no? Madali na lang naman yan. Basically, ang reaction lang yan is 6/9. Or kapag sinimplify mo, that is equivalent to 2/3. No? So, ikat na natin. Consider natin yung left side. So, meron ka ditong 2/3. That is based on the reaction, no? 3 meters and then 3 meters. Again, yung shear natin is downward, no? V, tapos it we considered as VL, tsaka VR. Don't forget your 1 unit load, nandito yan sa point C. Okay? V, A, C. Okay? So kapag VL, opposite direction positive, same direction negative, so opposite direction si 2/3, we need to include 1 unit load kasi hindi pa nakakalagpas. Minus 1, that would be equivalent to negative 1/3. Kapag VR naman, hindi na included si 1, so 2/3 na lang. So, okay? That will be your ordinate. So, this will be, for the left side, 1/3. For the right side, that would be 2/3. Ngayon, paano makukuha yung ordinate na ito? You can use ratio in proportion, no? But based on inspection, no, 3 meters ito 1/3. Malamang kung 3 meters ito rin ay 1/3. Okay? So, lagay na natin yung mga moving load. Remember, meron tayong 90 kN concentrated moving load. Again, we need to place this to the maximum, in our case, positive ordinate. So, ano bang mas malaki? 1/3 or 2/3? Malamang 2/3. So, nandito yung 90 kN. So, what else? So, may moving load tayo na 40 kN per meter. Again, we need to place that on where is the location for the positive ordinates, no? So, in our case, dalawa. So, kailangan natin i-place yung 40 dyan. So, ito yung unang 40. And then, the other one will be right here. Okay? And then, like I said earlier, no, kapag dead load, it is needed to apply all throughout the span. So, kailangan natin yan i-apply sa buong span. So, this is 20 kilonewton per meter. Okay? So, let's try to compute for VC. VC. Positive. Madali lang naman, di ba? 90 multiplied by the ordinate. 2/3. Plus, uniform load. So, that's 40. Ito muna ha. Area na ito. So, that's 1/2. Height is 1/3. Length is 3. Plus, ito pa. Height is, 2/3. Length is 6. Okay? So, after that, yung dead load naman, so, plus, ito muna. Itong portion na to, no? 20. 1/2. 1/3 times 3. Tapos, itong portion naman na to, so, minus kasi negative na to, 20. Times 3, and then another plus kasi positive na to, so 20 times 1/2 times 2/3 times 6. Okay? So, itong dalawa, cancel out kasi pares lang silang value. So, kapag inad nyo yan, the value for VC plus or VC positive is equivalent to 200 kilonewton. Okay? That would be your answer for letter A. Okay? So, let's try to answer letter B. So, for letter B, same lang. Ito pa rin yung figure mo. Kaya i-copy na lang natin yan. Kasi yan pa rin yung influence line, no? Pag shear sa point C. Hindi naman magbabago yun. Okay? So, this is 1/3. This is negative 1/3. 2/3. Okay? 3 meters. 3 meters. 6 meters. So, negative naman ang pinapahanap sa atin. So, yung 90 natin na moving load, kailangan natin i-place sa negative. So, in our case, dito pa rin, pero nasa 1/3 na to ha. Baka lang magkalituan. Yung 90 dito, nasa 1/3 na. Okay? And then, apply mo yung 40 dun sa kung nasan lang yung negative. So, dito lang. Move ko lang ito ha. Ito yung 40 kilonewton per meter. Kasi yan lang yung negative, no? Tapos, apply mo yung 20 sa entire length of the beam. Okay, so this one is 20. Okay, and then after that, pwede mo na ma-solve. VC, dito na lang sa right side. Negative. So that would be negative 90 times 1/3. Ito yung ordinate na to ha. Ayan. Tapos minus 40. 1/2. Height, ito pa din, 1/3 yan. Times length 3. Okay? And then after that, minus, hindi, plus muna. Unahin na natin tong left side. So plus 20. 1/2, height is 1/3, length is 3. And then minus 20, 1/2, 1/3, and 3. And then plus 20, 1/2, 2/3, and 6. Okay? So cancel out ito. So try natin i-calculate. So negative 90, 1/3, minus 40, 1/2, 1/3, times 3 plus 20, 1/2, 1/3 times 6. Sorry, 2/3. So, ang nakukuha ko ay negative 10. So, VC negative is equals to negative 10 kilonewton. Okay? So, let's see if that is correct. So, correct naman. Negative 10 kilonewton. Okay? So, paano pag positive? So, kapag positive, same lang. Magtulad ng ginawa natin. So, kailangan mo maglagay ng internal hinge. Apply ka ng internal hinge, then lagyan mo ng moment. So, ano mangyayari? May restriction ka dito, parang aangat ng ganyan. And then, gaganon. Okay? To get the value of this ordinate, maglagay ka ng 1 unit load dito. Okay? So, ganun pa din. So, siguro, copy na lang natin tong figure na to. So, for letter C, since naglagay pa rin tayo ng 1 unit load for the, to the same location, so, ibig sabihin, pares lang yung reaction. Iba lang yung gagawin natin. Okay? So, this is 2/3 pa din. This is 3 meters pa din. 3 meters pa din. No need to include the 1 unit load kasi it doesn't have any perpendicular distance kung saan tayo nagmo-moment. Okay? Or lever arm. Okay? Ang sabi natin, kapag kinonsider natin yung left side, your moment is counterclockwise. Whatever the value of M here is also the value of your ordinate. So, M, opposite direction is positive, same direction negative. That would be 2/3 multiplied by the distance kung saan ka nagmo-moment sa point C na 3. So, ibig sabihin ng M na value mo ay equivalent to 2 kasi cancel lang ito. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ang ordinate natin ay 2. So, kung 2 ordinate natin, so, i-drawing ko lang ang ating shape ng influence line. Okay, so this is 2. This is negative. Hindi pa natin alam yan. Okay, this is 3 meters. Tapos ito ay 6 meters. Ngayon, ito ay 3 meters. Kung malamang, pag nag-ratio in proportion ka, 3, 3 ito malamang negative 2. Okay? So ngayon, i-place mo ulit yung 90 kilonewton to the maximum positive ordinate. So in our case, this one. Nandyan si 90. After that, place mo yung 40. Kung saan lang positive. So this is 40. And then, i-place mo naman yung dead load to the entire structure or the entire span. Okay? So after that, pwede mo na ma-solve M positive, C. So paano yan? So we have 90. Ganun pa din, multiply mo sa ordinate plus 40, 1/2. Ang ating height is 2, ang ating base is 3 plus 6 kasi pwede na i-consider to isang buong base, no? So that would be 9. Kasi ganun pa din kumuha ng area ng triangle, no? 1/2 base times height. This is your base, this is your height, no? And then minus 20 times 1/2. Ito yung kino-consider ko, ha? Times 2 times 3. And then minus 20 times 1/2 times 2 times 9. Okay? So let's figure out what's the value for MC plus. $92.29 Okay. Sorry, nagkamali tayo. So, ano ba yung mali natin? So, dapat ito. Hindi pa to dito. Kasi positive din pala ito. Okay? So, kung positive din yan, so dapat hindi... Yan, tama lang yung ano natin. Ulitin ko lang, wait lang. Tama lang yung calculation natin, mali lang yung diagram ko, no? So, let's try. 40, 1/2, 2, 9, 22, 3. This is plus. Okay? So, ang lumalabas sa akin, 660 kilonewton. Okay? Ito kasi, kaya siya naging plus, dahil dito yan eh. So, 660 kilonewton meter. So, this is your answer for letter C. Okay? So, tama naman ito. Mali lang yung diagram ko. Kasi dapat entire muna. Entire positive, no? Okay? So, for letter D, maximum negative, same lang din yung ating influence line. So, kopyahin ko na lang. Okay? So, ito ay 2. Ito ay negative 2. 3 meters 3 meters simula dito hanggang dito, and then another 6 meters. Okay? So again, ang pinapahanap sa atin is maximum negative moment. So meron tayong 90 moving load. So nandito yung 90. Yan lang naman yung negative eh. 90 kilonewton. Ngayon, meron tayong 40 na moving load. So kailangan mo lang yan i-place from here to here. So ito ay 40 kilonewton per meter. And then we do have a dead load of 20, which we need to apply to the entire span of the structure because that is a dead load. Okay? So 20 kilonewton per meter. Okay? Let's try to solve. So MC negative is equals to negative 90 multiplied by 2. Okay? And then, minus 40. Area of that is 1/2. Height is 2. Length is 3. And then, minus 20. Ito muna yung unahin ko, no? Times 1/2 times 2 times 3. And then plus 20 1/2 times 2 times 9. So ito na yun. Okay? So ano kaya yung MC negative? Ang nakukuha ko ay negative 180 kilonewton meter. Okay? So let's see if that's correct. So, correct. Yan, tama naman tayo. Okay? So, para saan ba yan mga nakukuha nating maximum? So, ibig sabihin yan, for example, you're designing a bridge. So, you need to design the bridge where the 19 kilonewton is placed at point C, tapos yung uniform, ganito yung uniform load scenario, no? So, in order to achieve the maximum positive na 200 kilonewton. So, yan ang i-design mo, yung 200 kilonewton. Kasi yan yung worst case scenario. Itong mga nakukuha nating sagot is the worst case scenario considering the moving load of 40 kilonewton per meter and a 90 kilonewton concentrated live load. Okay? So, that's how we answer problem number 11. Okay? So, let's try to answer problem number 12. Okay, so this is problem number 13, no? So, hindi pala 12. So, ang sabi dito, determine the maximum positive moment that can be developed at point D in the beam shown in the figure to a concentrated moving load of 16 kilonewton and a uniform moving load of 3 kilonewton per meter and a beam weight of 2 kilonewton per meter. Remember, yung beam weight natin is considered as dead load. Tapos ito, 3 tsaka 16 is considered as live load. So, unang tingin, medyo nakakaba kasi para siyang indeterminate beam. But don't worry, let's figure out talaga kung indeterminate ba talaga siya. So, we have two reactions here. So, 2, rocker to. So, 1 plus another 2 kasi may internal hinge. So, 2, 4, and then 6. X unknown. So, how many rigid members do we have? We have 2 rigid members. So, 3 times 2, that is also 6. So, this beam is statically determinate. Definitely, we can solve the value for the influence line of that, no? Positive moment ang hinahanap. So, basically, sa point D, so maglalagay ka ng roller guide, internal hinge, and then i-apply mo yung moment mo. Kapag in-apply mo yung moment mo, may restriction, ito, sasabay siya, restriction. So, parang magiging ganito yung shape, no? I-drawing ko na lang dito para mas maayos. Restrictions, paganyan. Okay? So, yung loading, i-drawing ko na lang sa baba, ha, para maayos tignan. So, ngayon, ang kailangan natin is whatever the ordinate for this one is. In order to get that, pwede kang maglagay ng 1 unit load dito. And siguro, i-consider natin yung left side. Para madali naman tayo mag-cut, no? So, pwede naman left or right, doesn't matter. So ngayon, kapag meron kang 1 dito, since pwede natin itong i-consider, itong single beam na to, so kakat mo lang yan dyan. So para makuha mo yung reaction nito, syempre mag-moment ka sa C. Pag nag-moment ka sa C, wala namang reaction to kasi pag kinonsider mo to, walang loading, wala namang reaction to. Okay? So makukuha mo na reaction dyan, basically, are I2 divided by the total span. O kaya nyo na yan, madali lang naman yan. No? Statics lang yan. So, this is 2 over 6. Or, in our case, that's 1/3. Okay? Madali lang yan. Cut mo. Wag mo lang i-consider to. Cut mo, tapos isang overhang, isang simply supported. Okay? So, 2 over 6 lang yan. So, or 1/3. Okay? Pwede na natin i-cut yan para ma-determine na natin yung ordinate. Kapag kinat ko yan, ganito makikita natin. Okay? So, meron ka ditong 1/3. And then this one is 4 meters. Tapos, kapag kinat natin, consider natin right side, instead of counterclockwise, this is clockwise, no? MD. Ngayon, solve natin yung MD, that will be the ordinate of your influence line. Okay? So, yung MD natin is, yung 1 unit load, di ko na nga pala sinulat, wala naman kasing distance, no? Force times distance. So, that's 1/3. Multiplied by 4. So, yung MD is equivalent to 4 over 3. So, ang ordinate pala nito ay 4 over 3. Kung 4 over 3 to, 2 ito, tapos 2 din ito. So, malamang ito ay 4 over 3 din. Using ratio and proportion, no? Kasi 2, 4 over 3 din yan. Okay? So, after that, lagay na natin yung moving load. So, meron kang 16. Ang hinahanap positive, i-place mo dun sa maximum positive. That would be 4 over 3. So, meron ka ditong 16 kilonewton. Okay? And then, may moving load ka na 3 kilonewton per meter. So, i-place mo yan dito. Kasi yan lang location ng positive influence line. So, ito ay 3 kilonewton per meter. Tapos, yung 2 kilonewton per meter, kailangan mo yan i-place sa entire span of the beam. kilonewton per meter. Okay? So, pwede ka na mag-solve ng MD+. Ito na lang. MD plus is, unahin na natin si 16. So, 16 times the ordinate, 4 over 3. Plus, yung 3 naman natin, pwede na isang triangle yan, no? So, 3, 1/2, height is 4 over 3, base is 2 plus 4, so that's 6. Okay? And then, after that, yung dead load naman, o yung self-weight, no? So, minus 2 times 1/2 times, ano yan? 2 plus 2, edi 4. Pero 4 over 3 muna. Length is 4. Okay? And then plus 2, 1/2 times 4 over 3 times 6. Okay? So, ilan kaya yan? MD plus So, ang nakuha ko ay 36 kilonewton meter. So, kapag may moving load ka na ganyan, kailangan mo i-design yung structure mo sa moment na 36 kilonewton per meter. So, let's see if we're correct. So, tama naman. So, that's how we solve problem number 3. Okay? So, meron pa tayong mga problem, no? Especially in influence line of trusses, tsaka yung maraming concentrated load, yung mga may mga gulong na kung paano i-solve yan, no? Stay tuned for that. That will be the part 3 of this discussion for influence line. Okay? See you on the next video.